Morning everybody! Today I was hoping to photograph some dove drops. Now it's a cold morning, so there's bound to be some droplets somewhere. Now it is extremely cold. I think it's the minus, so hopefully the camera is gonna work. I don't think I've used the Sony in minus actually before, so you know. So dove drops are best photographed in the morning when they're actually naturally occurring. Now you can simulate dove drops in the studio with those kind of sprinklers and you sprinkle water on top of flowers, but it's never going to be the same as it occurs in the nature because, well, it's cold. Unless you want to put flowers in the freezer and sprinkle them with water. Yeah. Problem, however, is that everything is still a little bit frozen and you'll have to wait a little bit. So why would you want to photograph dove drops? Well, you see, the cool thing about dove drops or any sort of water droplet is that it will have everything that is behind the droplet in focus. So if you put a flower behind that droplet, for instance, you will have the flower in focus, the drop in focus, but everything else will be blurred out. And this is a really cool effect. So a lot of people are actually making really interesting photographs like these, for instance. Now these are my favorites. I will put a link to her Instagram account if you want to follow her. She's really awesome. I really love the way she's doing that. I know it's kind of my feminine side or something like this, but those are all kind of in studio photographs. What I want to do is capture them in real life. That's going to be a little bit harder, I think, especially that since everything's frozen. Okay, now since everything is still frozen, I'm gonna try and capture some of those crystals. I'm going to use the macro lens for this one, and I do have to stress out that for dove drop, kind of a macro lens is needed, or some lens that really does a good magnification. So this one is 1:1 if I get very close. Yeah, these look very nice. Yeah, I should attach my on-camera speed light for this one because it's well, it's low light. Yeah, like this is changing from being frozen to just wet. No dove drops. Maybe I should head up to the forest. Would be better. Probably. I don't know. Ugh. I apologize. So I'm gonna take a stroll right beside the cemetery. Well, not photographing the cemetery, that would be disrespectful. Somewhere in that direction there should be something that is still in a form of a sphere, translucent and reflective at the same time. Hence a dove drop. Okay, well, I hope I didn't walk for nothing. You know, sometimes I think you just have to acknowledge defeat. What I will photograph, however, is the scene behind me. Oh yeah, the 24-70, the best lens for any sort of, you know, run and gun photography. Now I hate switching lenses in the cold. I think this is why my Lumix G9 died, because I was switching lenses in the freezing temperatures. So the scene that I'm trying to photograph is this church with this little bit of fog and the sun coming through the trees, forming all of these shadows. So this is kind of the idea. I'm gonna have to focus tag, so take 3 photographs, one focused over here, then something in the middle, and then on the church. And I'm most likely going to add additional atmosphere in Photoshop. You know, it's a waiting game, photography. I'm just waiting for the sun to shine through. It did for just a second. I missed it because I was trying to place this camera somewhere. I'm using a very small tripod for the Insta360, and it's not very stable on uneven terrain. I'm gonna have to figure something out differently for future videos. Now, since I have time, I'm gonna share my camera settings with you. So I have my camera on a tripod. The composition is already locked in. I'm gonna shoot with an f10 aperture and I'm gonna take 3 photographs. So this way I can then focus stack everything together in Photoshop and get, well, everything in focus so that I have room to work with all the details and everything that I need for a, you know, potential very banger shot edit. I'm going to underexpose by about 1 1/3 of a stop, 1 2/3, because it's a really contrasty scene. I'm not that worried about the details in the front. And ISO, of course, 100, because I can, because, you know, the shutter speed is, I don't know, 1/100th of a second, and I'm on a tripod, so it really just doesn't matter. Come on, sun! You know, it's days like this that remind me that we shouldn't be just fixed on one thing when you go out. Even if you go to a location which you've already scouted out before, it kind of makes no sense to be fixated just on that one composition. I mean, today I wanted to photograph droplets, but yeah, you know, that didn't work. So I'm probably going to get a banger shot today with this one, kind of a moody, kind of dark thing. You know, and just when I started losing hope for any sort of dove drop photography, well, I found dove drops right here on the ground, on the grass, and on these teeny tiny flowers, as you can see. So I did manage to take a couple of those photographs, and well, I got two results today, a moody photograph and a dove drop. So if there's like one photography rule that I really think is a good one, is that, well, you don't always get what you expect, and you always need to have your eyes and your mind open for different opportunities. Like today, I mean, I did, however, find a very wonderful, moody kind of scene, which, well, kind of made my day a little bit better. I mean, I feel happy about it. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you've, you know, learned something new. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you, well, in the next one. Bye-bye.